Hola, it's me, Didi Fuego. Welcome to another episode of Deep Dives Early Outs. If you're new to my channel, this is the series where I interview queens from RuPaul's Drag Race that left the competition too soon. You may remember this queen from Drag Race Canada Season 1, Drag Race UK versus the World Season 1, or Drag Race Canada versus the World, where she placed in the middle, Porkchop, and then won. She knows everything, and she also has known me for 10 years almost when we started doing drag in 2018. And so there's so much we talked about, so many great things that she had to share. And so I thought, let me give y'all a treat, and let's do this in 2 parts. So welcome to part 1 of Deep Dives. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, do so now. Put some comments. Let me know who you want to see next. And once the early outs session of Deep Dives is over after the season 18 finale, we're just going to do some deep dives with whoever we want to talk about. So I'm so excited to get that going as well. All right, but for now, let's go right into part 1 of Lemon and Didi back together for Deep Dives Early Outs. Here we go. I'm so happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you, Miss Drag Race Diva DD.
You are Miss Drag Race Canada Lemon, you are Miss Drag Race UK versus the World Lemon, and you are Miss Drag Race Canada versus the World Queen of the motherpluckin world.
Kind of the most iconic girl ever.
I agree. You went from being number 1 to being number 1.
That's what everyone's saying.
I remember when I first came back, you were like, if you need to talk, just like, let me know. No matter where you placed, I also can relate. So
that's the thing. It's like when a girl gets eliminated, I feel like I'm like, I get it. Regardless of like, if you did really well, I get what that feels like. If you did really badly, I get what that feels like. If you made it somewhere in the middle, like I get it all. Like I have so much empathy for all of the Drag Race girls because I really feel like I'm like, no, I did that once too.
Unfortunately, the reality for me is that I went home first. And so the part of the experience that I need from you is not, I mean, the winner energy is lovely. And we're going to get there, and one day that'll be the case.
One day that'll be the case. I'm a story of hope.
But you, but you are the, do they even call them pork chops in the UK versus the world? Because like, you were the first out, but like,
there's some debate about this. When I was eliminated first on UK versus the World, everyone, pork chop this, pork chop that, left, right, center. Then when I got on Canada versus the World, now all of a sudden, everyone has an opinion on, well, she's not really a pork chop. So, you know, I think it's depends on whether or not you want to give me a compliment or not.
Well, I want to give you a compliment, and I want to thank you for joining this like Zoom show situation. So this is my like YouTube interview show where I speak to early eliminated queens. And yes, you are early eliminated in 1 season, but the rest, you've done very well for yourself.
I'm still the first out.
Yes.
I'm still in the Pork Chop Lounge.
As much as in your resume, there is Queen of the Motherpluckin world.
I have dual access. I can get into any of the lounges.
Yes, dual citizenship, which, okay, yes. we'll get into that. But the way that I structure this thing is just talking about kind of the beginning, like what led to you being on Drag Race or Drag Races, and then like the middle portion, which is like while you were there, and then not the end, like beginning, middle, end, but like it's like what happened after and how you make it your own storyline.
Period.
Duh. I mean, because
Period. It's just about everything.
It's about everything. I just like to I'll give it some structure. But let's start at the very beginning. We met because
you know the very beginning.
I know the beginning because, well, the first time we actually met was DragCon New York, like 2018 or something.
We met knowing we were about to start a show.
Yeah.
Skywalker, a New York City queen, if you don't know her, follow her on Instagram. She's absolutely insane and
love her.
Range. So she is our mutual friend, and she was a bartender at one of the New York City bars, and she was starting drag, and she had such a great start to drag. They really like caught eye of her right away. And so thank God Skywalker brought us together. She said me and she said you, and they gave us the show.
Like, it's so weird because at this moment in life, they knew you and I from doing Drag Wars with Shaquita.
Yes.
There's one photo, I don't remember meeting you, but there's one photo from those days. And then we had a weekly show after having met twice.
So you're talking about the start of drag. I feel like this was my first weekly, but before this I had been doing little competitions and like guesting for people and subbing a lot for people because a lot of shows in New York are like choreography based. So it was easy for people to just slot me in because I could learn it like overnight.
The time when I met you, you had already established yourself not just as a like popular drag queen, but as you said, people were already like putting you in their show. So it felt like you were very connected already. Yeah, how did you enter the drag scene?
Keep in mind, all of this happened when I was like 20. So it's like, I wanted to be a party girl. I wanted to be a socialite in a way, but obviously like real socialites need money. So
Right.
how do you socialite as a broke gay college student? Well, it's easy, Diva. Let me tell you.
Put on
You
a
go to the
wig.
hottest party, you go to the hottest party, you find the hottest boy, and you lock in. You say, who's in charge here? You figure it out. You know what I mean? So there was a time where it was every weekend, not even weekends, every night I was just out. I was in VIP. I was living the life, having the time of my life, right? So it was like you meet all these people through that. And then sometimes I would meet drag queens and think like, I'm better than that. Like I could do that. Do you know what I mean?
Had
And
you
a
put
lot
on
of
a wig?
like,
Have you put on a wig at this point in your life?
not yet. She had been like a lot of these queens would be like kind of whack. And then like I would see them get just stacks of cash. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? And then one time someone said to me, like, because I used to go out in heels and I would put on looks. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't drag, but like it was.
Yeah.
Someone was like, Diva, like you're a dancer, you're a performer, you're already doing looks. They were like, if you just literally stepped on stage, you wouldn't have to do anything different. Stepped on stage and danced for 3 minutes, you could leave here with like $500. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. So I moved in with Jan, who was on season whatever of Drag Race. And she was one of the first people that I saw doing drag that I was like, oh, this is like really serious. Like, this is like really, really good, incredible performance. Like, this is like a person that could be on Broadway or could be in the fucking movies or could be a pop star and is choosing actively to like do drag as like their medium. And so through Jan, then I met Rosé and Lagoona and my drag mom, Jasmine Rice, and a lot of other queens that like you kind of have this moment right away where you're like, oh, you're like a star. You're amazing. You're choosing drag as like your first and foremost like artistic exploration. It's not like drag that's like accidental. A lot of the drag queens I saw when I was like a teenager had the same storyline of them being like, well, I wanted to be a singer and I couldn't book roles. So I like made a spot for myself. And in my mind, I heard it as like, you couldn't book.
Yes, exactly. There's this like rumor or this like idea, especially in New York, that like, oh, you couldn't make it on Broadway. And
You
so
couldn't
now
make
you're
it, so you did drag
singing
as
at the
like your
bars.
backup.
At what point do you think, not just do I want to do this on stage, but like I'm seeing now these friends of mine get on TV. When does Drag Race come into your picture?
So I did a Nutcracker season that was like horrible, hated my life. Worst thing ever. Director was so mean to me the whole time. And at the end of it, he gave me like he slid across the table a check for $200. And even like I had a lot of really, really successful dance friends that were like people I had always looked up to. And then like we'd go for lunch and like their card would get declined, which is, you know, it's
No, it happens.
It's
yeah.
And it's not judgment on them. It's just like, fuck, like you guys have the career that I was thinking I wanted. And now it's like, oh, like you can't even buy lunch, bitch.
Right. The idea of being a struggling artist in New York
was not appealing to me at all. And so then there was one that was, I think the price was like $500. And I was like, this money, that's a lot of fucking money.
Oh, well, yes.
That's a lot of fucking money.
When we're doing like drag competitions, we make $20 because we work for tips.
Really, that $500 is spent before you even make it, but that's not the point. I was like, okay, $500, like I'll win so easily. It'll be gorgeous. So I entered this competition and I got third. And I remember being like mad as fuck. And for the first time ever, because I was a competitive dancer and like losing was like, yeah, not great. There was maybe 2 or 3 times I could think of where I was really disappointed. But most of the time I was kind of like, well.
Yeah. Also, if you know that you did well, you're like, there's another competition next week.
Like, I can come back.
Yeah.
So I was so in the scene because I loved to like go out and dress up. And I knew all the girls at this point, or not all the girls, but I had partied with most of the queens. And like with Jan as your roommate, at that time they were in Stephanie's Child. So it was like Rosé and Lagoona, Rita. They were like always they were the it girls in New York, and they were always at my house. And they're really cool people also too. It's another thing that like, to me, they were very supportive. They really uplifted me, and it didn't feel ever like they were threatened by like other drag queens.
Right. They're still like,
the more the
welcoming.
merrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how exactly it is in New York, but I've always felt, because I didn't have that friend group, I didn't have like the drag queen team around me or like a family. So I had a hard time, I think, like booking and finding that support.
Like, because obviously we worked together so often. I feel like you had this work ethic and like singularity in your drag that like almost was, the fact that you didn't have like a big drag family was a big benefit in a lot of ways, because there was no one kind of being like, oh, well, we all do it like this. Like there were so many things that you did that you were just like, well, that's the way I do it. It was just the Didi Fuego of it all. Like you did things your own way, and there was no one in your ear being like, oh, well, you really should do this. Well, maybe me and Sky.
It was you, but also it was me, because I felt sometimes like I'm not doing it correctly and I'm not getting, I don't know, to like a place because I'm not doing it that way. But the thing that I did find with doing our show together is our individuality was the point.
And I think a lot of drag queens could use a little bit more of like push. Like you got to pop it off. And
also, we came from theater, so we were like, we're doing a show.
Shows. Your drag character is like the woman that you looked up to most. Because a lot of us, I feel like you love this person so much. You love their feminine energy. You love the woman that they are. And that's so obviously reflected. And it's like, for me, when I was doing drag, so much of it, like I look back and I'm like, oh, I remember thinking like, I look like my old teacher, or I look like this woman that I loved, or like this woman I took class with. Like, so it's like, I do think we've evolved past the point of it just being women. We're just kind of exploring things that we love from within.
And maybe at the beginning, it could start as like trying to emulate an external situation, but then it starts uncovering the inside situation.
Exactly.
When we see the photos of us then, like it's still so is us now.
It so is, yeah.
It's like the Pokemon evolution.
Some of my makeup.
Obviously, you are a Canadian citizen. At that time, you see your friends getting on the show. There's no Drag Race Canada. There's no in your mind, I'm going to be on Drag Race. Or were you like, somehow it's going to happen and then Canada shows up? What was that moment when Canada shows up? Or were you like, somehow it's going to happen and then Canada shows up? What was that moment when Canada shows up?
A lot of people have dreams of like, I want to be famous. I want to be a pop star. They didn't really care for me. Like, I was like, I don't care. I want to be an artist. I want to dance. I never really wanted, like, I never was like, I didn't care about fame per se.
Yeah.
But the day that I saw the Drag Race Canada application, I said to one of my friends, oh my God, I'm going to get on this. And I think it was just because every season of Drag Race, there's always a New York girl.
Yeah.
And so this was the first or maybe the second ever international season of Drag Race ever. We kind of already had this smaller community of drag. So it was like, as soon as I saw it, knowing no one will know that I'm Canadian, no one will know who I am, no one will know what I can do. And like, there's no predetermined relationships between the girls.
You're already,
I have a different perspective because I did it in a different place. So as soon as it happened, I was like, I'm getting on that. That'll be easy. And
you're already like producing it. You're like, it makes sense as a producer that I should be on.
And my whole, like in my tape, I was saying it. Like I was like, it doesn't make sense for you not to put me on. Like,
speaking of your tape, remember when I went to your apartment and helped you with your audition tape?
Okay, wait. This is actually a confession because I cheated during my Drag Race Canada audition tape. And that is because they had us do a paper sewing challenge, make a dress out of paper. I'm not a creatively crafty person in that way.
Yes.
And so I texted Didi and said, hey, can you come over? And you made me the cuntiest little gift wrapped paper.
So cute.
dress, and I submitted it in my tape and said, I just made this. I love it.
It looked so cute. Also, like, you gave very specific instructions of like the gift. Do you want it to be a gift? You were like, it's gift wrap paper. Like, the creative director was there, but then you had like the free labor. When you were preparing for the show, how were you feeling? Because I know you asked me to help you with some of the looks. How did you put together your package? How did you prepare to be on the show? Emotionally, were you like, I got this? Or you were scrambling? Because financially, where were you?
I was so goddamn broke, girl. You know this. Well, for people who don't know, Dee Dee helped me make my denim look. You made the dress that I wore in my entrance underneath the big coat that was made by Florence DeLee. And you also made me the tree look.
The tree dress.
The hair runway. And you also made me one more, right?
The puffs for your promo look.
And you made me the puffs for my promo look. So I went into a costume store that was right beside the studio that I danced at and walked in, saw the gold corset sitting there, saw the lacy little underpants, saw the pannier shirt, saw all of those, and just literally was like, that'll be my promo look. Grab, threw them in a bag, took them home. Christian, my best friend, stoned the corset for me. You added the puff sleeves. I think you added some more detailing to like the rest of the corset too. But yeah, that entire outfit was just bought at a store 2 weeks before I left for Drag Race. And I've done 3 seasons. That's still like one of my favorite promo looks. I mean, it's not the best one.
No, but it can still be your favorite, even if you know you're not like,
but
that's
it's still
the best
like one of
quality
my favorites. I also think it really captured the essence of lemon.
For sure.
In a way that like the other 2 themes, like for me, didn't, like lemon doesn't exist in those themes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think my UK versus the world was like warrior.
Yeah, kind of like a wrestler kind of warrior.
And I really was like, if lemon was a wrestler, I would have done some ugly, horrible, fucked up character, funny wrestler.
Right. But not for a promo.
Because it was a promo look, I can't do that. So I had to just be like, okay.
So let's talk about you're coming into the show. You come into the workroom. Are you still feeling delusional and confident?
Terrified.
Okay, terrified.
No. I walked in, saw all the other girls, and I was like, oh, wait. I'm like, I thought I was going to be
the one.
So, and then I walked in and I was like hit with the heart, which I don't know why I thought that, because my makeup was a mess and I had my outfits were garbage. But again,
not me agreeing with you as if I didn't also have crazy makeup and also made the looks. It's like, yeah, you look.
No, it was though. Like it was crazy. But again, like it's drag. You're supposed to be crazy and delusional. So I was. And yeah, I walked in and saw all of the girls and just was like, oh, fuck. Like these girls are really talented. Like these are, which I don't know why I would have thought that they wouldn't be, but.
Right. And then it's episode 1.
And then I lip sync for my life.
And you were seconds away from being the Porkchop.
I think part of why I was so stressed and horrified is because I was like, oh my God, it's a TV setup. They're setting me up. And I was like, instantly, I was like, oh, they're going to write the storyline of like New York drag isn't as good as Canada drag. I did feel like it was like, oh, there's no chance I'm going to win this lip sync no matter how good I do. And then also all of the girls loved Boxx and knew her really well. And all day kept telling me like, oh, like Boxx is really, really well loved in Toronto. Like she's always had like kind of she's one of the better makeup queens. Like she's one of the good. So like everyone knew her. Everyone was really rooting for her. And so as soon as the lip sync started, all I heard from behind me was like, yes, Boxx, come on, Juice. And so it was like the whole lip sync. I don't think one person was like, come on, Lemon. Like no one. But yeah, I think that the part of why Canada season 1 is still such an iconic season, it really is because every single queen on the season was a star. Like Boxx could win a season without a doubt. Like she's such a talented queen. She's so funny. She was a great lip syncer too, which that was also like, oh, fuck. Like it would have been great to like go demolish a girl, but she was really good. She could have beat me in a second. For all of the future, first out divas, like I think it's important to remember that it is just kind of a little bit of luck. Like it is just kind of like, how did you do that one specific day? And it's like, I think all of the people in the world have this image of like, well, if it was me, I would blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, you've never had a bad day. Like you've never had a day where things just aren't going your way, or like it's like, you've never had a single day in your life where you wouldn't be the fucking star of every room. Like,
right. And in
So it's
addition
like,
to that, sometimes you're going through TSA and you get the random check. Like, all of a sudden the machine beeps and there's something in your pocket. You just have to go to secondary check. Like
sometimes it's just not your fucking moment.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But it's like, I really hate the implication that you're not good at what you do or blah, blah, blah.
it's not a reflection of like who you are and your entertainment quality or like a human
drag
quality.
drag is supposed to be all over the place. Like, I would so much rather see a girl, and when you go to her show, it's like, she might be amazing tonight, she might be fucking horrible, but
And she'll be both at the same time.
But we're gonna have a good time. It's like, that's the kind of show I want to go to. I mean, we did a show for a year and a half, and it was like every now and then I would come and I would look perfect, gorgeous, incredible, brand new look. Most nights I looked a hot goddamn mess.
Yeah.
But it's the shows that I looked worse were probably the better shows, because it was like we were having so much fun. I wasn't afraid to rip my dress, which I did every week. Like
every week.
It was like
the back of every single pump just scraped.
Completely scraped off.
But
it was like, I honestly, like, I miss that drag. Part of the good thing about not doing well on Drag Race is you can kind of get away with like being fun and like having good drag.
A blessing and a curse, because then also I show up and I'm like good at my job and everyone's like, wow.
And I show up and I'm like, oh, they expect a winner. So I'm like, I need a fresh pair of heels every time. But then I'm like, well, now I have these fresh shoes on. I'm not going to do a jump split. I'm not going to be able to do a thing. I'm not going to. So it's like, you really do.
Double-edged sword.
I think every drag queen, we need to just let go a little bit and have some fun.
Now, speaking of letting go, Canada's Drag Race Season 1 did let you go. And before you knew, like, now you're standing here winner, like a franchise and like an icon of the Drag Race franchise, right? But when you get eliminated, what's your spirit feeling?
I kind of went in, again, like I was the New York girl. I branded myself as that. And I was pretty comfortable with that being like how people thought of me. And so I kind of knew, with that being said, that it wouldn't make sense for me to be Canada's first winner.
Right.
I didn't really go with the intention of like, I really want to win. I really just was like, I have to win at least one lip sync. And then I really wanted to win at least one challenge.
And you did both those things.
When you win a challenge on Drag Race, like that episode essentially becomes like your episode.
Yeah. And there's something that goes on your resume.
Belongs to the girl who goes home and the winner, like the whole episode's going to tell their story. Yeah. By episode 3, I had won a lip sync, won a challenge.
You were like, let's have some fun.
Right away, I could tell that I was like making myself proud. Like I was like, I knew that I was doing shit that I would have liked to watch. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think that's a lot of my successes have been because I feel like I can take myself out of it for a second and just look at myself like from the perspective of an outsider. And it was like, from the perspective of an outsider, I would have loved her.
People are like, how did it go for you? Like, how did you feel? And I was like, I can very proudly say, like, I was very present. I was very myself. I enjoyed every minute. I was like, I loved my time there.
Which I think that's so much more valuable, because there's girls who make it to the fucking top 3 or even win that are like, I didn't like watching myself. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the person that I saw on camera, which I would rather lose and be proud of myself than win and like not like what I did.
Yeah. So this delusion or this confidence after leaving Canada's Drag Race Season 1, you were like, I'm good. Like, I'm fine with how I did. Everything's going to be fine. And you're at this point getting booked in Canada, but like everything was like, okay. Or were there things that you were like, people are reading me for the looks still, people are not booking me, like, what is this?
We have gotten to a point where it's like, there is no way to please everybody.
No.
It's not going to happen. You could do the most incredible $50,000 look and you could be perfect head to toe. And someone's going to say, well, you know, I don't like pink. Mm-hmm, like, so it's like, at the end of the fucking day, I think it's really important to remember, as a Drag Race girl, but just as a human who exists, we do have to just accept that like most people are like fucking weird, like, and have something nasty to say. So it's like, if you can authentically really believe that like you liked what you did, that's so much more valuable than like,
you have, I think, to me, always had this energy of like, what you say about me is none of my business. And I've been, I think, in my life more I care that people like me kind of person, or people like think of me highly, and that has gotten away over time because it does not help anyone.
Like, it's not that I don't care ever. Like, obviously certain people can get under my skin, or like certain comments like will tip off something that will like piss me off.
Right,
like,
or like
whatever.
an insecurity that you already had if someone's like,
We're still human. Like, that's the other thing. And it's like, I think a lot of people forget that we're just like people. Like, we have certain teams that work with us on certain things, but it's like none of us have like a whole ass social media team. Like, no one's like has their PR person like running their accounts. Like, no one has like bitch, I'm still reading that. Like, it's like you're still commenting this on shit that I'm gonna see. There's a good chance the queens will see what you're saying, positive.
And it only like reveals who you are when you're commenting negatively on anywhere online.
These are inside thoughts. Like, these are something that you wouldn't say out loud.
Right.
And if you saw me on the street, you do it from a public Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's like, these are things that you shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
Zoom.
All right, I'm going to pause y'all right there on that deep and meaningful note. And we'll save the rest of the conversation about UK versus the world, and then her final winning turn on Canada versus the world. That'll be on part 2 of this, which is coming next week. So, or, you know, if you're watching this in March, well, you can watch it now. Okay, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Deep Dives. And check out the rest of my channel. We have the Behind the Heat series where I talk about the making of all my Drag Race looks, and other fun surprises there. Go into the archives, and see you soon. Gracias. Adios.